Wow. And that's Blake guy. So how can you even block an email? I didn't even know you can even block an email.
Pardon?
I didn't even know you can block an email. Like,
Oh, Jimmy can.
oh, well, that's good.
No.
Okay.
But the whole thing is, Claire, I honestly don't know what is going on. And if she wants me out, and like why Larry phoned me this weekend and told me I'd be smart just to let Tara run all the accounting stuff and get away from it. And I'm like, what? I've done it all my life. What are you talking about?
So they're trying to push you out as well. That's what it sounds like to me. And that's absolutely sad. And why would Larry tell you that?
I know.
Like who told him to tell you that? Like why would he feel so comfortable to tell
I
you
don't
that?
know. I have no idea. I was caught off guard. He phoned me yesterday and told me that.
So that means someone must have told him that and thought that he would be the better of bad news to tell you that. Because he doesn't even do accounting. So how would he even know anything about accounting? Like he's
But
not
he talks with Tara all the time. He's in with
exact
Tara all the time.
exactly. So it
Mm-hmm.
had to be a conversation that was had. And it's like, well, I can't tell her that. And Larry's like, well, tell her. It's something like that.
I have no idea, but I just am sick. I am literally sick about everything. I was contemplating going back to Canada this like tomorrow, and then I don't know, like I just I don't even know right now, Claire. I am.
I understand how you feel. I felt the same way, that week. I'm glad that, you wanted to talk to like kind of say it wasn't you because how she was saying it was like it was you, because I made it very clear to her that I wasn't going to do, I wasn't going to just change decks for her or Scott. I wasn't going to do that, do
Well, no,
anything.
you have to do it legally.
Exactly. And she wanted me to do it. They wanted me to do it illegally, and I wasn't going to do that. And that's where it all came from. That's where Scott was pissed off at. And she told Scott where she doesn't want to do anything, or basically like we should just outsource it all and let someone else handle it, and we can give them everything we want them to put inside the system. And that
Yeah.
worked
Well, the
best for
whole
her.
thing is she's got an ulterior plan because as soon as she came in, she told me I didn't need to deal with you anymore. She would handle revenue. Remember?
Yep.
So how would it have anything to do with me with them letting you go when she told me I wasn't to? She told both of us in that she was dealing with revenue and that you might not even need to talk to me. Remember?
Yep. And that she was going to outsource it all, right?
Yeah. But
That's
even
it.
before she was going to outsource it, when you were still there, when she first started, she said that she was going to be handling the revenue, and you and her were working on it, and you didn't need to talk with me on it anymore.
Exactly.
Remember?
Yep.
And so right from the get go, so if they were going to let you go, how did it have anything to do with me? Because she took me out of the equation of revenue.
But we started the company basically. We built everything from the ground up. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
just we didn't just
And
find information and put in the system. That's what I was trying to get her to realize. Scott specific orders was use everything that Maverick had. And that's what we did.
mm-hmm.
If they wanted it done differently, Scott's supposed to have mentioned that, like, well, I want it done this way. But she was saying that Scott shouldn't have had these taxes, and Scott shouldn't be doing this, and Scott shouldn't be doing that, and I want it done this way now. So I'm like, well, if you want it done that way now, then that's something that you and Scott need to agree on because this is how they wanted it done 6 months ago.
Well, I'm here to tell you that there's other things happening there that I am not aware of, and I don't know what the hell is happening anymore. I am so out of the loop. Like, she's even dealing with Constellation and all of these things that have nothing to do with revenue that she's supposed to. She told me she's changing the whole entire chart of accounts, and I said, that's nice. And then when I said to Scott one day I was working on a lease op, he said to me, well, don't be double working because Tara's going to be looking after all of WG stuff now. And I said, what? He
Wow.
said, I already built the lease off. And she's going to change the whole chart of accounts, and now it won't
Wow.
map anymore.
Wow. So there you go. There you have it. Now you see how they're trying to take you out of the loop. There you have it. That's it.
And they
If
keep
you
me so out of the loop, like honestly. So you tell me she couldn't have had any time today to phone me since last. I haven't talked to her since last Thursday because she was too busy on Friday trying to get Blake's royalty check off. She was too busy on Saturday. On Sunday, she was too busy trying to get her royalty stuff done, and she had a birthday party to go to, and she would talk to me today. Today, she's too busy to do anything because she has all this other stuff she has to do. And every time an email comes about royalties, I'm sure she's telling Scott, do you see what Leanne and Claire did? Well, I'm sure.
but it's like, what did we do? We did what Scott wanted us to do. Right or wrong,
Uh-huh.
Leanne? Didn't Scott say he wanted the system exactly how Maverick was?
Yes, he did. And
Okay,
that no one had to check the decks because
correct.
they were paying them for so many years that if they were wrong, they would have heard about it.
Exactly. And didn't we do a June testing before we even went live?
Yeah.
Did that number match exactly what Maverick had?
Yeah, and now she's telling them that all the taxes that were set up were wrong. All of there's been no reporting to the government officials. There's been none this, and this done, and the decks are wrong, and this is wrong, and it's such a mess. She's never seen such a mess, is what she's telling Scott.
Exactly. And he's believing her. That's where she is the one that started the whole thing when I thought about it. Cause Scott doesn't know anything about the system. He just
No,
knows what someone says, and she the one that's been causing all this stuff because it's like, and she don't even know. She was asking me all the questions about revenue. She said she hasn't did revenue in a long time. She said I don't know why I told Scott I did revenue because I haven't did it in a while. She said I might know some things about it, but I haven't really just did it. You know.
oh, well, she went on to tell me that there's nothing that she could train me on revenue because it's so complex and so whatever. But at least I was smart enough to realize when something didn't look right, I could spot that it didn't look right. But Denny and her would be able to dig into it and do it all. And I'm like, okay, well, just take me totally out of the revenue and royalty. But Scott keeps sending me emails on it, and I'm like, I'm not involved in it. And then Scott
Yeah.
says to me, you need to look after everything and look over it all. When I was in Houston, and I said, no, you told me she was looking after everything.
Yeah. Yep, and that's what she told me and everyone else, that they don't know what they was gonna have you do, but on the AP side, you didn't send out 1099s, and they're gonna have to pay. I want to say 20 cent or 10 cent or $1 or something after each one. It
No,
wasn't
we
sent
talked
out.
to the guy who does Scott's taxes, and he says that the IRS doesn't normally find them. And the whole thing is Scott's the one who told me not to worry about 1099s, and you know that he said that to me. And then I had Pamela finding the stuff. Then Nina was supposed to finish all. Remember, that was her first job, was to get all the stuff for 1099s. They're still not done. Then Kimberly was supposed to be working on them. They're still not done because they keep pulling them and they don't want to do them.
Yeah, that's what happened with us. They kept putting us in so many different directions. We'll start here, and then they'll put us to do something totally different.
Uh-huh.
So don't. That's why I made it clear to her. It's like, don't try and say that I didn't do my job right. I did exactly what Scott asked me to do.
Did you get another job?
No, I have my own companies that I had to run. I have to do my. I have to freaking catch up on my companies. Like
Oh,
I did that for a favor, like to Sean and them, to get the thing up and running. Like it wasn't supposed to have been something that, I was gonna be working 13 hours a day doing. Like that wasn't never my plans when I went there. It wasn't never my plans to
Claire,
be doing personal
Claire,
favors
get
for
this.
Scott.
She put in 98 hours and he approved it in a week.
I know you lying.
No, I'm not.
I
That's
know
what
you're
she
playing.
submitted.
98
Uh-huh.
hours.
Uh-huh.
You see that? That's what it was all about. That's what people like that do. They get the old people out so they can build them a whole new team and let it flow the way they want it to flow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Scott wouldn't have never approved, and there's a lot of hours that we worked that we didn't even bill for.
Well, I don't bill for any, right? Like, I'm on a salary.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I,
That
I don't get paid anything extra. I get a flat fee every month, whether I work 5 hours or I work 500.
well, that's probably why he called you all the time because he know you he couldn't bill you. That is just
And then
sad.
I see all this other stuff and how much they're charging through and what they're doing. And she's having meetings with people right, left, and center. It's not even funny. And then today she was that Scott wants to outsource all of AP, all of accounting, and I said whatever. And then she comes back to me and says, well, Scott's thinking of changing marketers and they're going to do the royalties. I said, okay, so how are you outsourcing all of this? And then I'm like, and then she goes, well, either way, we have to get it all fixed. And it would be through Opportune anyways. And I'm like, oh, whatever.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
honestly, they've cut me out of everything so
What
much,
a,
it's not even funny.
what about EMB? Don't they still have a percentage in the company?
Uh huh. Uh huh.
What why don't they step in and do anything?
I don't know.
Like that's just like so she's like that's just crazy. So she basically just moved you to the side, her and Scott, and took over everything. When you change the chart of accounts, that's like basically deleting everything that you have did. Like it's like
Uh
your
huh.
stuff. That's what that's doing. That's like where you never really even existed because everything is changed. Then will be her.
Uh huh.
Like she built it all.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Uh huh.
Wow. And Scott's just okay and everything.
Yeah.
And then when you try and
How else
talk to
could
him
she hire
separate,
all these people? How could she hire all of these people? Like I said, there's
and
one,
he wouldn't let
two,
us hire anyone to help us.
yeah, like I couldn't even get an assistant for him. Remember? He has me
Yes,
doing it all. So now he has
exactly.
his assistant office manager. He has one, two, three people in revenue. She has Nina in AP. She has herself.
Wow. You remember we tried to get Cams to come and help us, and I do remember, and I did appreciate that when you told him Claire's right. That's a good idea. It gives us help to do to get the production numbers, to get the land stuff. We have someone that will help us, and I agree with this. And when can we get them out? He never responded to us. Do you remember that?
No, I know. And then the whole thing is too is then he'll throw at me, well, you and Claire just outsourced everything. Well, what the hell is she doing?
Exact. You had us doing all your personal stuff. I'm running to the police station doing police reports for a storage I had no part of. I'm running to restaurants getting reservations for him and his people because he couldn't get none over the phone for things I had no part of. Like, I mean, so many things I had to do for Scott.
And well, now she contacts Jimmy when there's a new employee and gets them set up and tells them where to go. They've just taken
Wow.
me right out of the equation of everything.
Wow. Oh my
And
God.
so I this weekend I came to the conclusion, well, whatever. If she wants to do it all, she can do it all, but they can't come back and blame me for it, and he still has to pay me.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, hopefully he
I
does
don't
that,
I
and
don't know. I just know my days are numbered
I would do
too.
appreciate my last pay because I surely thought that he was going to be like, oh no, don't pay her. And I was just like,
Oh, it doesn't matter. I approved it on my own.
well,
I didn't ask him.
I thank you. I have an expense report still, so hopefully you can, I can send that your way and you can approve that.
Well, Tara told me you were sending it to her, so I've been waiting for it from
I,
her.
I wasn't going to send, I haven't even talked to Tara. I talked to Sean and
She
them.
point blank told me Claire said that she had an expense report and she was going to send it to me, and then I'll get it approved and we'll get her paid. And I said, okay, whatever.
Wow. Well, they must have talked to her about that. And she doesn't even know she still have to get with you on it because that was things that you and I discussed. Like the Ubers when my car was wrecked and I still had to like couldn't work from home because Scott wanted me in the office with you. She doesn't know about that, but I guess.
No, and then the whole thing interesting is so Nina, once her granddaughter passed away, and I know that's a horrible, horrible thing. She took
Yes.
all of last week off and the Friday off, and then today she was supposed to be back in the office, and then her brakes aren't working on her car, so she couldn't get into the office today. And
Wow.
that's all fine. Tara comes in at 10 o'clock, and like
Mhm.
on 2 days a week, like when she's taking her dog to daycare, and she has to
Mhm.
leave by 5:15 today.
Yep.
And he says, and then when I said something to him about it one day, he just said, Leanne, I'm talking to her at 11:30 and 12 o'clock at night, so I know she's still working. And I said, okay, whatever. So there's no point in me saying anything because he just slams me for it. So I'm just
Wow.
stepping back.
So that is the new person that just took over everything and just outsourced the whole everything, and she's going to make the accounting department great.
Uh-huh.
And you have royalty owners that's on the. This is the thing, the only thing that bothered me was I knew it was a personal attack on me with Scott because when we did, and I'll give you your props with this, Leanne. You and I worked countless hours building everything that we had to build in that accounting department, just you and I. And the help from like freaking just people with the first ones was gave us wrong information and did wrong stuff. But nowhere did he offer us none of the help that this lady have. And
Yeah.
I found that really that was just a personal attack on us. It's like he didn't like you said, he wouldn't even let you hire him an assistant. Like we asked
No.
over and over for help. Like it was impossible for us to do it all. Like why couldn't
And
we
now
have a
he told
team?
me he doesn't care how much money it costs him to get the accounting fixed. He will get it fixed.
I don't think Scott wants to get it fixed. I think that and that Blake guy, he contacted me. Remember I told you, I think he CC'd everyone on the email and just like, how Scott does this all the time. He did it to some companies years ago, and he doesn't pay royalty owners, and here goddamn think of every excuse not to pay, but then he'll act like that he wants to pay and get everything together until it's time to cut a check. So he was like, you need to get out of there and get out of there fast. He's like that man is something else. He's kind of that man researched everything about Scott. He even said Scott had a rape case.
I know he put that in an email on the email to me that he sent to Gary. Where did the money go? Did it go to Scott's rape accuser?
So it's like I'm really glad to not be there. I wouldn't mind, working with you on somewhere else, but with Scott, no, he played too many games. He tried to turn us against each other plenty of times, and I just don't like that. Every time someone comes, you're just so fantastic, and then Tara just don't know. It's only a matter of time before he's after her ass.
Well, yeah, and I'll say to Tara, oh, he's really cranky today. Like not now, like
Yeah.
last week. She goes, well, he has every right. Everything's such a mess. He's so mad at everything. And I'm like, oh, is he mad at you? No. I said, oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah, she's did what she did, just what we thought, what you said she was gonna do the first time you came in there. She did exactly what you said that she was going to do, which was take
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
You remember you said that? You said
yeah. She's
she
worse than Melinda.
Yep, you said she is not to be trusted and she is going to take over, and she did just that.
But she's doing it to everything, and they're trying to push Pamela out. And oh yeah, yeah.
Wow. They haven't pushed Pamela out yet because he was saying that she was going to be leaving weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I
And then
don't
she
know.
started
She's still
working
there,
with
I think.
Gary and with Phil, and then Phil had her stay because she was saying she was working with Phil. So that's
Yeah,
probably,
I don't.
well, I wonder, is Phil, is they messing with Phil, or is he fine?
He's fine. He's
Thank you.
worked for Scott for a lot of years.
Yeah, I know he's not going to be quitting, but did they try and take his office or anything, since they have like, where's all these
No,
people sitting?
no, but Tara doesn't even talk to him.
Oh no, she doesn't. Nope.
No.
But where is everyone sitting at?
Oh, they got cubicles.
Wow.
There's two cubicles at the front, and so let's see here. That Kimberly and Rebecca are sitting in the cubicles. Pamela's still in the IT room. Judy is sitting in the boardroom. Phil is in his office. Tara's in that other office, and she put Benny in your office.
Yeah, because that's her friend that was retired, but Scott said that he would pay him a buku amount of money just to come and work.
Yeah.
And she offered him the position and told him she would pay him twice or three times his salary to come and work.
Nice.
And
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any of their contracts. But then I also heard from Steve Griffiths that um, they hired a new engineer. I haven't been told that. I was told.
wait. Why don't you see any of the contracts?
Well, exactly.
They kicked you out of seeing any of the contracts?
Uh-huh.
Wow. And wow. And you didn't even know they had an engineer. Steve knew that.
No, Steve told me that he started last Monday and was here in California with Larry.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Well, does she even talk to Steve? Like, does she, like, have she even,
Who?
Tara?
Oh, well, I don't know. She's best friends with the field people now. And because Steve phoned me one day and said he was told that all accounting goes through Tara now. What am I doing?
So
Mm-hmm.
she have already been introduced to Steve that she's doing all the accounting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
There's so many things. I just make myself sick thinking about them.
Well, you said it right when you first met her and you came and told me she's gonna take over and push everybody out and make it her department. And guess what? She did just that. You were right.
I wanted to be wrong.
Yeah, but you was yeah, I remember your face. You was so assertive that she would do that, and it didn't take her no time to do it. Wow.
Like the Rebecca girl, this new girl who she just hired who started today in revenue, she just sent me and said, some food for thought, Leanne. I'm a geek, remember? If you want me to go through the bank statements and verify the manual checks that were written, I'd be happy to take that on. There may be some that need to be voided, but we could figure out what's been cashed so we can apply it accordingly. What the fuck is she talking about?
Why would
And
she
what is
send
she?
you that?
Uh,
Why would she send you that? Why do she need to go through a bank statement on the revenue side? That's basically saying like you didn't do your job.
mm-hmm.
They are so slick. Oh my god. They are trying to okay, Leanne, that's crazy. Leanne, they're just pushing you out of your position. That's what they're doing.
Uh-huh.
So what are they saying that they want you to do?
I have no idea.
Wow. So now they want the bank recs and go through the
Mm-hmm.
bank recs with a fine tooth comb.
This is a revenue person. Yeah.
Exactly. Why do the revenue person need the bank recs? Unless Tara asked her to ask you for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't need why do they need them? Like that's crazy.
And I don't know what she means and verify the manual checks that were written. We have copies of all the manual checks. What is she talking about?
Exactly. That's they're gonna have everyone else come after you, but Tara's gonna send them all to come. Like, what? Get this from Leanne, get that from Leanne, until they take everything that you have. I told them. They called. What was that? Friday. I had to go to California myself, but I just came back yesterday, and
Well,
they
why
was.
didn't you phone me when you were here? I sat in this apartment all weekend and didn't even go out.
I didn't even know that you was there. I thought that you was still in Houston.
Uh-uh.
Because Scott was making it clear that you like kind of wasn't gonna leave, but and I was telling them about I had my assistant bring well I had her contact Giovanna to bring the laptop, and I told them I said you all calling me this much. We had a lady out with stuff for about a whole month. I said, don't worry, it would be delivered to them with bills on, but is everything in here is on the S drive. So I'm like, I didn't really like just, I made sure before I left, because I stayed a lot that day, to train Giovanna and put everything out there to her and send her all the files that she needed. So I said, it's not like it's just something that's holding revenue back from doing revenue, but I'm going to make damn sure that you get it today, because I don't want to be the blame for anything not being done on the revenue side, but I have to tell them that this weekend, like tell Tara that she, well, my, call my assistant and she can have it with bills on. Like, I mean, it's nothing like, come on, this is a freaking cheap little Dell computer that was like, what, we paid like 500 or something for it, maybe 1,000, who
No,
knows,
that
but
was 2,700. I don't know why.
oh, well then, still, I mean, it's like I have four computers in my house. Like, what the hell I need with? I don't do that. I'm not a freaking thief. I'm not gonna take company. I'm not bitter at all. I'm not a bitter employee. I was upset that I didn't talk to you, but that was it. But I was already like Sean and Michael will tell you, especially Sean. I called them a week. I called them actually 3 weeks ago and told them to get me the hell out of there. They was moving too slow. So when Scott threatened me on that email, I told them that's it. This would be my last day. They promised me not to quit. They told me well, they begged me not to quit. They told me let them talk to Tara. And I said, it's no need. It's no need. I have stuff to do. Like, I would not be putting up with this. Like, period. Like, I'm leaving. Get me out of here. And then just so happened that
she hires everybody. I have no input in who gets hired.
yeah, she took everything away from you, and I knew that was going to happen. And when I seen that happening and how they was just turning you and I against each other, I already knew that it wasn't going to be the work environment that I signed up for.
It's not the one I signed up for either.
Like, you turning people against each other. Scott's lying every chance that he gets. You had this call guy come in and tell me that my interest rate was wrong. And then he got mad that I contacted PCEC. That's what you're supposed to do to verify your interest rate. I didn't know you was running from the people. I mean, seriously, I did not know that. A lot of things he kept me off the loop on. But when I found out that he didn't want them with the information, that's why neither one of us had titles. That's why we didn't have addresses or signatures, because he didn't really want no one knowing where we were located at. So I didn't know it. I thought I was working for a real company. I didn't know any of that. And that's what really did it. He said Tora was saying that we owe them a lot of money and they have a lawyer and they want their money. And that's what did it. She said that Scott was really upset about that. I'm like, well, I cost him like $1 million when they found out the address or close to it, because that's how much we owed them. That's how much was suspended. I have nothing to do with that suspense, what they owed him at all. I mean, I was just verifying the interest rate. Exactly. And the interest rate I had that they gave me was the correct one that was in the system. So
you and I didn't have anything, but we did what we were told, and now we're being told that we're horrible because of it.
and yeah, it was a setup. Like, we did what we were told, and then like you said, that wasn't right. But we only did what we were told. He could have let you do the same thing that she did. We begged him to do that. We begged him, like, well, how do you need a whole accounting? How do you need to outsource something for two purchaser statements? Hello, like, do you realize all this stuff that we had to do to build a system up? Like, and then get all the information that we need from production to engineers. We had any of that. Like, no one was helping us with this. You remember Lou wasn't talking to you? You remember?
They're gonna throw it at us. They're gonna throw it at us.
You remember Lou was not even talking to you for a while.
Yeah.
Like, he would not talk to you, period. So, I was just like, you know what? I see where this is going. We're going to be the blame for the world ending. So let me just leave and let Tora see exactly what she's going to be dealing with. Here you go. Take it on. But I don't like how they're trying to push you out. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to get everything that you do, have somebody do it, and then now it's like, what is there left for Leanne to do? Think about it. Why would Larry tell you to get away from the accounting? You are accounting.
Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that. Well, he also told me him and Scott have been having run-ins.
So they're not getting along now.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. They had a run in? Really? Larry and Scott? Oh my
That's
God.
what Scott told me on Sunday. That's what Larry told me on Sunday when he phoned me.
Well, I know Larry was upset that one time because keep in mind, Scott be forgetting a lot of things. You do know that, right? Like he is like his memory is not all the way there. He'll say do something that he didn't already told us to do. Didn't you like catch one of that? Like he said, why isn't Larry doing I mean he said someone needs to call about the what do you call those things that he have in the front of the office? The cubicles. So I contacted Larry and I was like, do anyone know about when the cubicles would come in? And then Larry was like, I just talked to Scott about that. I said, well, he just asked me to get on it. It needed to be done right away. And Larry was like, I just talked to Scott. So I don't know if Scott was doing it on purpose or um but Larry was upset. He was like, and he sent him an email, CC'd everyone on it, and was like, I already talked to you about this. Why are you asking Claire to do something that she already had me do? You remember that?
Well, that's he's been doing that with me all the time, having me follow up with something that he had Tara do, and he's having Tara and I do double the thing, double the work.
Exactly. That's what he does. And I thought that maybe he just forgets. I'm thinking maybe he has a memory problem. Maybe unless is he doing it on purpose? I mean, that's why I was like, is he trying to like I don't know. It just I was just feeling
No,
like
he's asking us on the same day to do the same stuff, and then he'll phone back and ask where we are.
wow.
Uh-huh.
That's a way to like turn people against one another. Cause you might turn in something that look one way, and she might turn in something that look the other way, and guess which one he's going to go with? Tara's,
Uh-huh.
cause she can't do anything wrong right now.
No.
When he was upset, she was just laughing away. We all was like, "Wow," trying to find out what the problem was, and she was just laughing, like, "Well, I can just go find me another job or go back to where I was." So that's when I knew
I
that she
know
kind of
that's what she always says, and I don't understand why she's saying that.
because she knew that she it was her idea, her and Scott's idea. That's just how they was playing us. It wasn't never for her to leave. Period. I was there when he told her do whatever she needs to do, and hire whoever she needs to hire. He don't mind. He don't care if he have to pay 3 times the amount.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't let us do that.
Uh-uh.
Well, I'm sorry that you have to go through all that, Leanne.
Uh-huh. It's just it's nasty the way that they are right now. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to even think of anymore. I'm just
Someone have to take the blame, and it was always somebody else's fault but his. Like when do you as a business owner step in and give us the help we need? It's like it was no loyalty there, none.
uh-uh.
So do you think that he's gonna always be true to Tara? Like no, that's what
No, he won't.
Scott does.
But he'll do the same thing that he did with us.
Yep, that's what she doesn't know. He's gonna love you now. You're gonna be the best thing since sliced cheese. But you wait a minute, and she's gonna be calling you like crazy right now. As you can see, she doesn't have time for you because she's trying to find out how can she get you out the loop. You're the last piece that she needs to get rid of, Leanne.
I know because he emailed me and said to me, "What about this letter?" I said, "What letter? I didn't get any copy of any letter."
Who said that, Larry?
No, Scott did today. He didn't phone me. He emailed me today and said, "Leanne, what's your response on this email?" And I said, "What email?" And he goes, "There was a letter that went out." And I said, "I never saw any letter." And then he goes, "Oh, okay, sorry." And then I didn't hear anything more about it. And that's weird because if I was supposed to have been on it, he would have kept on. Like, so there's stuff going on behind me. Yeah.
Wow. So he just didn't said something about a letter that you knew nothing about, but he said sorry because it wasn't for you to know. So now he just done
Uh-huh.
spilled the beans on something that else is going on without your knowledge.
Yeah, and I have no idea what it is. Yeah.
They're trying to, and then she said that before. You didn't hear her saying, "Why are you paying for an apartment for Leanne in California?"
No.
You never heard her say that.
Uh-uh.
So she never told you that.
No, I told her I had one and that it was cheaper than a hotel room when I'm here. And she's like, well, why do you even have to come down here? Why can't you just stay in Canada? And that was the only comment she ever made. And then she said to me, but I fully agree with you. Getting an apartment is cheaper.
She said, "Why is he paying for her an apartment in California?"
Oh, wow.
So
She tells me it's totally different.
yes, she does. That's what I was trying to tell you. So I mean, you just better be careful, Lynn. That's all I need to tell you. You better be very careful and
Careful on what? That's just it. I don't know
like
what.
basically they're just trying to you're the last one that they need to get out of there. Like, I mean, if they're telling you that you need to find something else you can do and leave the accounting to them, what else do
Oh,
they
they
want
did.
you to
That
do?
was Larry after Larry told me he had had a run-in with.
Scott.
Yeah.
But what kind of run in can he possibly have with Scott? Like, what can they possibly have to argue about? But Scott lying on him, that's one thing. That's all I see.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, what kind of run in can they possibly have? Absolutely nothing. So I mean, I think that he was asked to kind of see what your thoughts was on that, and you told him, "What else am I gonna do?" Like, why would he even talk to you about? Like, if you leave the accounting department, like, what would you do, Leanne? Like, what? Be Scott assistant? Oh, he has the other girl for that. So what would he? What would they have you do?
I don't know.
Exactly. So it's like that would have been a huge red flag for me. Like, leave the accounting, leave the accounting to them, and then what do you do?
Oh, that's what Larry said to me. He goes, "You're still a valuable asset, and there's you're very valuable to WG and that, and there's going to be a role." She says, "There's definitely something for you. Just think about it."
Wow. You don't think that came from Tara?
Probably did.
You did. That's what her and Scott always talked about. Scott, she told me with her own mouth, Scott was like, I don't know where is there for Leanne to do. And then Scott said probably put her in AP. And then Tara was like, no, because you messed up AP or something. Nothing was done. And you let Rebecca do something. Like, I didn't even know. But basically, like, Rebecca, like, put some invoices in wrong day. I don't know. Some stuff like that. And she said that. So she was like, no. And then she said, he was like, she was thinking, like, well, maybe she can do the admin. But I don't know because I have to find someone to be his executive assistant. So that was like when she first came.
She
And
told
I
me
could,
Scott wanted me to do AP, and she said no, that I was more valuable than that, is what she told me.
oh, honey, you can believe that if you want to. I was there. Her exact words was, "It was not. You are more valuable than that." That was her first week there. I was there.
Yeah, there's just so many games I can't take it. I can't and that's this weekend. I just had to step away from everything because I cannot. It's killing me. I take my work to heart and I put 110% in and then some. And to be told I'm the worst, and when I said to him, I'm not the worst, how would I stay at my same job for 19 years? He goes, well, they went bankrupt. That's not anything to be proud of. And I'm like, okay, I
Wow.
didn't make them go bankrupt, Scott.
Wow. Wow. But he asked you for over a year while you was working at that company to work for him.
Uh-huh. He chased me.
How did he even find you? So I want to
So
know.
what happened is I worked for Zargon, and he bought Zargon, North Dakota, and I'd worked for that company since 2003. And so then he asked me to stay on and do that part-time while I worked full-time for the Canadian operations. So I did that.
Well, then he's seen how much of an asset you was then, and that's why he brought you on.
Yeah, like I worked for him for a year and a half before I came with this, and for a year of that time, he kept trying to get me down to the States, and I kept saying no.
Wow.
So if I'm that horrible, why for a year did he try and get me to do it?
And then when he gets you to the States, he just treats you like shit.
Yeah, and then I had said to him all along, I said, well, for one thing, I will never be Ramona's replacement. I am not a personal assistant. I would fail miserably at it. He goes, of course I would never have you do that, Leanne.
Wow. Well, why are you paying his son's insurance? Why are you paying his rent and all this and that?
I know.
Running around like a chicken, making sure taxes get paid. Getting mad because telling Tara that he's gonna make you drive to Austin because you messed up or something to file his taxes. I'm gonna make her drive. Like, does she even know how to even drive to Austin here? Like, how does that even sound?
Or do I even have a car?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, but that's what the word was around the office. So how disrespectful is that?
Yeah.
Like just talking behind your back, someone that helped build this company to someone he just met. Like that's just like your boyfriend trashing you to another lady.
When I brought that up to him once, said he can't talk behind my back, and he said he never would do that. He'll tell me if there's a problem. Well, he's so full of shit because I've heard him talk about everybody behind their backs.
Thank you. You're good while you're in his face, but as soon as you turn around, you're full of shit and you're crappy and you're the worst thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
Scott always said, "What does that lady does? What does she do?" And I'm like, "What lady? You know, the one that you talked to, that's in California." This when I was like first starting there, and I was like, "Leanne," and he was like, "Yeah, what does she do?" I said, "I don't know. Whatever you hire her to do." I thought that was kind of weird. So imagine if he did that to me. He does that to everybody.
Yeah, but that's what he does to me too, about everybody. What does that girl do? What's she doing? What's she doing?
Exactly. So I mean, Scott just plays games. If you don't, if no one knows that better than us, shame on them. Scott will
but you
play.
Know what? Larry told me he was tired of Scott micromanaging everything, and they had big run-ins last week, and he didn't know how long he was going to be there. It's what Larry was saying. So I think Larry was just trying. I don't know that he was trying to put in a bug in my ear because he said to me him and Scott had run-ins, and he's tired of Scott micromanaging everything.
Yeah.
And that he said, Leanne, for your own sake, you should maybe get out of the accounting.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well then he's definitely looking out. He's trying to put a bug in your ear because that's exactly what Scott does. And that's what people don't know about what we were doing. We couldn't just run our department like we know how to run our department. Scott always had to say so on what was done wrong. It's like, how do you know? If I would have changed those interest rates to that sheet that Carl, whoever he was, from a freaking Gmail, it wasn't even a company email, that would have really messed up all the decks.
But no. Larry says that he's tired of Scott micromanaging him.
I know that because Scott micromanaged us too. So that's what I'm saying. I understand what he's saying because certain things Scott should step back from. Like he shouldn't be in the mix with everything because a lot of stuff he just don't know. He just know higher up numbers. That's it.
Well, so apparently he hired this other guy named Tim Skillman. Remember he was talking about him for months? Well, now he had him come out to Houston last week when I wasn't there and meet with Tara and find out what everyone does and what the problems are and all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, he has this man named Tim Skillman. And he told me he's going to be like the COO. And I said, I thought that's Larry. And he didn't say anything to me. So wow. I think that Larry's getting pushed out too.
See that? And guess who it is? Him and Tara is going to push everyone out and build it the way she see fit. She said that's what she does. She build accounting departments.
Well, They can build it. They can do whatever it is they want to do.
I'm warning you.
Well, no, like they can do whatever they want to do. Then maybe I can work 8 to 4.
They're gonna try and push you out where you don't do anything.
Yeah, but I got a contract. No one else has one.
Scott don't give a damn about contracts, Leanne. This is the same person that wanted me to change PCEC interest rate to an interest rate that was not on the contract.
That's true.
But we're gonna just pray that everything works out, okay? That's all we
I'm
can
like,
do.
I don't like his games. I don't like that. I'm a very honest and upboard person, and I will not do something that's not right.
Yep, me too. You
And
seen
that's why
that.
he wants to push me out of accounting because I wouldn't change
Exactly.
numbers.
Exactly. Yep, that's why.
And because he asked me to change some things on the Zargon ones, and I told him I couldn't because I knew that it wasn't right, and by law I can't do that.
Good for you. Good for you. You don't let Scott bully you into things, Leanne. I told you about that before. So that I'm so proud of you for that. Um, you are always been just the sweetest person ever, and Scott is he takes advantage of people. As long as you let him, if I did all the things that Scott wanted me to do, I would have still been there. But I have integrity and I have a name and I have like this is not my first rodeo. I've been in oil and gas for years, over 15 years, and everyone speaks highly of my work. I would not let someone like Scott drag me through the mud. And plus, with all of these royalty owners, keep in mind, I was giving up my other mobile number when I first started. They was calling me like crazy. How are you? I hear you don't work there no more. We thank you so much. You was the best thing that ever happened to that revenue department, and we appreciate you. I have so many voicemails from those people. Like they really made me like feel good. That's what made me take a vacation. Like they were so nice and they were just so thankful for what I did. And I'm like, that's what Scott should have did. But it took royalty owners that I talked to, I stayed in communication with on everything that we were doing and how we was doing it, and they appreciated that. Because they said for a while they couldn't talk to anyone. Nobody had a phone number. No one had no way to contact it. They wasn't even answering the royalty emails. Only this lady named Jennifer or whatever her name was. And she just always sent it to us. So they was very happy that I came in and did what I did, and they thanked me for it, and then they apologized. So it's like, especially like them knowing the history of Scott. I don't even know nothing about his companies, but it was like these people still have lawsuits out on Scott. Sad. But don't even worry about it, Leanne. I'm glad we talked. I know you have a lot
Oh
to
no, I
do.
talked to Amir about it earlier, and I said to him, I need to get my head space in the right space. I know I'm next on the chopping block.
Tara's gonna be the Tara's gonna make sure of that because you're the only thing left that make her not be able to run the show the way she needs to.
She's already changed the chart of accounts to what she wanted.
That's when she did that, I knew that she was definitely getting you out the way because it's like this is gonna be what she's gonna do. She's gonna go to Scott to say, "I hired someone to do everything that we need. Now we can have the company up and running. It's no need to outsource it now." And what does Leanne do? Because we have someone doing everything. And then she's gonna say it's time for her to go. We don't need to have the money, like she was saying with the place in California. You don't need to be spending that on a apartment or whatever in California. That's what she's going to say. Like, I mean, what do we need her for?
Well, that was part of how Scott got me, was that he was to pay my living.
Exactly. And she's a female. She's definitely going to. She was already talking about it. Like, why is he paying for her to stay somewhere? Like, the jealousy was there.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long they're gonna do this, but it's just really sad that I know what's going to happen. Like, I don't like Larry just confirmed it because I'm sure she talked to him about it. Like, they brought in someone to do everything, but have yet gave you a title. Everybody else she brought in, I can assure you, have titles.
I
Why
have no idea.
why haven't she gave you a title yet? She giving everybody else titles.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Like, you should have been a priority on the list on what your job duties would be with the new changes and what is your title. And if I was you, I would demand that. What's my title? Because if that's the easiest way to kick someone out that don't have a title, because they can easily say, what do she do? I have hired you an assistant. She made sure of that so he doesn't have to call Leanne for anything. I have hired an AP manager and another person they can assist in AP. Don't touch the revenue and royalty, Leanne, because I'm taking over that. Scott just said he hired a COO. Larry's telling you get away from accounting. So think about it. What else? What else is for you to do? Like, where's your title? Why didn't her or Scott give you a title?
I don't know.
You might want to try and find out, Leanne. Let that be your duties for this week, okay? We're going to work on getting you a title.
Well, the whole thing, it, the whole thing is when he says something like that about my title, she says she told people I'm still the controller. She's been telling people I'm the controller and she's the CFO.
Put it in writing then, Leanne. Because
Huh?
she tells people one thing and she tells somebody else something different. So let's find out if you're really the controller. Get it in writing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that I want to be actually anymore.
But, I mean,
I don't know what I want. Like I wanted to go home this weekend and maybe look for a new job. I don't know.
guess what? Even if you do look for a new job, they're going to ask you what was your title at your last job. I'm like, at this point, I'm being a friend to you because we're not coworkers no more. So
Mm-hmm.
we're talking to each other with our own free will right now. And as a friend to you, I
I
would.
just feel like I am getting the short end of the stick, and yet
You
I did
are.
everything in the world for
Exactly.
him.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Exactly. And she came in and took your spot and was like, you never existed. When someone go and change your chart of accounts and everything that you did, that's how she was doing in the revenue. Like, well, we shouldn't be paying these taxes. Why are these taxes come out? Because that's what Maverick had. And
Yeah, well, then she says all of them were wrong, and everything she's doing is right. And I,
exactly.
God made a comment to me that not everything is right that she's been doing.
Oh, he did. So he noticed it.
He said them to me a while ago. I'm trying to think when he did that. He sent me something about revenue, and I said, I don't know. He goes, well, it's not in any good shape yet, and everything I've asked her to do, she hasn't done. This was back when he was talking to me, but now he's not even talking to me, like I said.
I knew
Like
it. I knew it was a
not even
matter of time.
talking to me.
Because I was working with her and she was asking me to show her how I put it in. And she was like, wow, that's really difficult. And you have to do all of that. And I was like, I told you it's not normal revenue. You don't have a paycheck stub and enter in things from a pay stub. And she said,
No,
well,
there's games there. There's games,
I told
and I just
just
don't even.
yes, it is games there. So just know that. And if I was you, Leanne, whether if you want to be there or not, this is what you should work on this week, okay? Because now, I mean, I guess we're back friends now. What do you think?
Yes, you've always been my friend.
Okay, we can be back friends again. You always been my friend too, and then it's like a pleasure talking with you. What I want you to do this week, Leanne, is work on your title while she's hiring everyone. This is a perfect week to do it. Everyone you brought in have a title. You need a title. That's how you secure your position there, because she's just going to scoot you out the way by saying, "What does she do?" And Scott always say, "What does she do? What does she do? What does she do?" Make sure you get a title. Don't let them just mess over you, because forget me, you was there from the very beginning. And she's taking all the credit for everything that you had, all your footwork. You were on salary. As you just said, this woman is billing 90 something hours. Is that a week?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And he's paying it. So guess what she's
Mm-hmm.
going to do? She's going to do everything. If Scott asks her to lick the bottom of his feet, she's going to do it. You think she care about you, Leanne? She do not care about you. That's why she's doing everything to overpower you behind all her people. No one, all of her. That's all of her people that she hired. The person that you hired is gone.
Mm-hmm.
She made sure of that. So guess who's next? You. You have to get you a title. If you go to any other job, they're going to say, "What did you do?" And you know what Scott said? And these are all my kids. Scott was like, "Well, maybe she can be my admin or something." And I know for a fact all the accounting you did, you think any of them gonna vouch for that? You think Scott is gonna vouch for you?
No.
No, absolutely not. Scott is all for Scott. And it's just to protect you. That's all. Just protect yourself. You know, get you a title and then go from there. That way you're protected. If he did that to Ramona after 30 something years,
Yeah.
she have no health insurance, no nothing on what Phil say. Phil the one that was like, "That's a shame on what he did with Ramona." That's how I knew about it.
She doesn't. She got nothing from him.
That's what Phil said, so I guess he was telling the truth. How?
I have no idea because she was only a consultant.
Exactly. That's how he protects himself. But why wouldn't you, out the kindness of your heart, want to give her something? A
Oh,
package.
that
50,000 or something.
because he's not a kind man.
Okay, so if you know all these things, why do you think that he's going to change for you?
Yeah. Can I give you a call right back?
Yes, yes. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.